Hello everybody and welcome back to the Who Bulletin. We are here for yet another week of Doctor Who news. Last week we were questioning what the fuck was going on with Doctor Who, and this week we are going, damn, there's a lot of fucking news to talk about. So this is crazy, let's talk about this. Welcome one and all to the stream as per. I have to admit, this is a tired week. This is a tired week where George has been tired because he's been at work and he is tired. And this is going to be high energy until this monster energy and lovely nostalgia bit cup ends, and then it will be crash out. Maybe we'll see. Welcome to Mr. Scarlo, Dr. Master, Cybernova DW, Trippy Intellect, Harry Hughes. Welcome one and all. If you are joining us now and you haven't said hello in the chat, drop a little hello and I will be more than happy to reply and say hello back to you. Great question already. Is George staring at the webcam while the timer goes down? No, usually. So I work a full-time job from 9 till about 5:30, and then I come away and I try to get home. I get home, I tend to be about like 20 past 6, maybe a bit later. So I've got 40 minutes to basically get set up, get ready, and not die completely, and also spend a little bit of time with my girlfriend before I go live and leave her for the entire evening. So that's fun, but that on the last 10-second countdown, I am effectively today. Sometimes I'm sat there watching and just sharing it on Twitter. Today I sent the tweet out, sent it live, and then went to get myself a drink because I didn't actually have my drink ready. So, this is banging. Welcome to E913. Welcome to Shadow J3D Knight. Welcome to Draw with Cameron Smith. Welcome all, one and all, to the stream. I've just realised I've still got the text, what is going on? Here. Trailer, titles, news. There's a bunch of stuff to talk about, so that is what today's topic of discussion is. Let's get that one right. I'm sorry for getting you all addicted to 13. My sincere apologies. Who knew? Welcome, Josh. Welcome Oasis Central as well. Regale me your thoughts on these sourceless episode titles. Well, we'll talk about my thoughts on the episode titles in just a bit, but first, we're going to start with our one and only trusty old Whodle. Don't you worry. Don't you worry one bit. Let's get Whodle fucking logged right up. So the last time would have been Tuesday the 18th of March. So we will load up the 19th and we'll go from here. Whodle. Oh, every fucking time, George. What are we doing, man? This is unprofessional. I need to sort this shit out, man. You can't get this right. You can't get the bloody reacts in your Twitch chat right. What can you get right? Nothing. You're shit. Should I tell you who isn't shit, though? Dan Byrne. Oh dear. Still hasn't worn off. Like a week and a half later. Welcome to the Whodle segment, everyone. Let's have a look at whatever the fuck this episode is. I can't remember. Let's have a look. Hole in the Wall, hosted by Dale Winton. God rest his soul. What the fuck is this? It could. Oh god, I'm very low down here. God damn. Okay. I'm gonna guess the Almost people. I remember that was like took place at like a fucking castle. I think it is that. It could be the Rebel Flesh. Yeah, I was close. I got the right two-parter. That's pretty solid, I'd say, from me. 20th. His name's Dan Byrne. Garbage disposal. Well, that could be anything. But this looks kind of like POV. I'm gonna guess Sleep No More. Nope. What the fucking hell is this? Garbage disposal. Dr. Mysterio. It definitely looks like solid quality. I mean, I was right with it being a Capaldi episode. Christmas Capaldi episode. Not Deep Breath. That's Last Christmas. Oh, come on. River Song? Is it the Husbands of River Song? Right. I did not get that. Oh, of course. I should have got it from the head. Putting the head in the garbage disposal. That's a shocker. That's fair enough. That one, yeah. Yeah. That was terrible. Time Heist? That looks... No. Okay, completely wrong then. What is the Doctor doing there? Well, it's Matt Smith. We know that. What's he getting out of the box? Fucking hell. Is it the beginning of Time of Angels? When they go to the museum? Nope. Completely wrong. Van Gogh. Van Gogh. Vincent and the Doctor. Yeah, it is. I should have known that one. I watched that relatively recently as well. And he's looking in the box for that bloody tool. That's shocking. Audio. I love the audio ones, man. They're the best. I'll turn the audio on. That would be a good start, wouldn't it, Josh? Nice.
Fastest.
It's Voyage of the Damned. In a fucking heartbeat, man. The fastest. The fucking jaunty little music there. The Max Capricorn, like, it's the fastest cruise line.
The furthest. The best.
And I should know.
Because
My name
is Max.
Oh, I could have been jiving to that, man. Love it. Do people ever hit you? Only when I'm talking. That's Capaldi. That's definitely Capaldi. And I'm thinking, Bill? Thin Ice. Can they learn, evolve, grow? Maybe get tired of carrying pesky humans around? Know the feeling? Oh, that's definitely Capaldi. I know the line, but I don't know where the fuck it's from. Do people ever hit you? Do people ever hit you? Only imply it's like implies that it's someone new. Smile. I don't know. I'm going early season 10, but I'm probably wrong. Abby. If there's a rescue ship on the way, then how can the rescue ship already be here? Too many rescue ships is a first world problem. It feels so... It's definitely Capaldi, but I have no fucking idea. Abby. Last Christmas again, I'm guessing. Tasca? It's a myth. Take a look. It's Nardole. It's got to be Capaldi. Yeah. Away from the mythical union. Rescue ship. It's okay. Oxygen? Oh, it is Oxygen. Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess that's fair enough. Oh, I don't know. I don't like that one. Let's have a look. That's Impossible Planet, surely. Yeah, it's the big old yellow doors. Toby. That's crazy. Okay. If I get this, I'm gonna be so. I'm kind of disappointed in myself, but in fucking one, baby, come on, look at that. She's wearing a white t-shirt, and then like two sort of dark there, and the only time she ever wore a shirt like that was literally this one episode. She wore a shirt instead of like a t-shirt. It's the only time she's ever worn like a shirt, like here. There you go. There we go. In fucking one. Come on, man. All right, let's talk about the titles. That's what you're here for, innit? Ladies and gents, boys and girls. Let's have a gander. So, earlier this week, they revealed Doctor Who being, they revealed the titles of the episodes in the same sort of way they did last year. Last year, they did... Hi, Caroline. Last year, they did a little animated thing for every episode, announcing the title of the episode of the series. Last year, they did it really well, because they sort of announced it, and then they did sort of like one every hour, right? With that, I thought that worked really well, because I got to do a live stream all day, because I had fuck all to do, so I could just sit and do that all day. This year, they just released them 10 minutes apart. And to be honest, I was playing FIFA, didn't really give a shit. So I checked it out after and gave my thoughts. But I thought we could talk about them today and kind of go off what we can guess about these episodes, what we know is happening. And I have seen the Verada and Shooty interview, and I will get on to that because that was very interesting as well. So, without any further ado, they announced the episodes. The first one is The Robot Revolution, written by Russell T Davies, directed by Peter Hall. This is probably the worst kept secret in Doctor Who in recent years. Oh, sorry. Is this episode was being called The Robot Revolution? I feel like I've heard this around for a while. Title? Kind of boring to me. I think it's kind of basic, bare bones, kind of... I haven't seen novelization news, so please do send that to me. I'd love to have a look at that. On stream. Live reaction. The Robot Revolution is a very uninspired, kind of boring name, but it kind of, I guess, gets to the point. You've got sci-fi robots, you've got colourful vintage aesthetics, and it's a revolution between two different races. It's a very simple premise for a Doctor Who episode. We've seen loads of this in the trailer. We know what's going on. We know Belinda's basically taken from Earth, likely because, we'll get to that. But she's taken, and then the Doctor goes and rescues her and all that sort of thing. The interesting thing here is to try and break down all the other details in the background. So, the only thing we can really take away from this, we've got some sort of cardiometer. I don't know what that actually is. Casey, hi. Oh, man. I'm going to kill Connie tomorrow. So, interestingly, the only detail you can kind of break down from this, Planet Belinda. Belinda's the name of the new companion. The planet's called Belinda. The assumption is the reason she's kidnapped by aliens for no understandable reason is it's got the same name as the planet, hasn't she? That's all you can really break down from this. It's a kind of uninspiring title, and it's the opening episode of the series, so long as it's better than Space Babies, I think we're in for a fucking treat. The next episode is called Lux, which is very interesting. Oh god, very loud, rainy aesthetic. I'm going to turn that down. Which just looks like a set photo with this sort of edited on and a rainbow over it. Not the best graphic they've ever released, but it does the trick. We know again the setting of this. It's Miami in a certain... I can't remember what year it's in, but it's in the past, as you can see by the cars. We know this is the cinema one. It's the one with Mr. Whatever his name is, Ring Ding or something. I can't remember what his name is. But also the one that's assumed to have some sort of god figure in it again, as there's a Harbinger reference on the sign outside of the cinema, which we have seen from set photos, which is very exciting. So we know that that's that one. The most interesting thing about all of these reveals, in terms of... the interesting thing about all these reveals, I guess, is that they're very similar to basically what everyone predicted. Like, the episode order is spot on. Like, everyone kind of had that in the bank. Everyone knew this was going to be episode 2. My only concern with this being episode 2 is it's going to feel very similar to last year, where the first episode was companion introductory space episode with space shit going on, and then the second episode is like on Earth in the past, and there's some sort of harbinger and like god of something. And last time it was Maestro and the harbinger of Maestro and the god of music and the Beatles and all that sort of shit. And this year it's Lux and it's like a cinema and it's like a cartoon god or something. So it's like, yeah, it's interesting, I guess. But I'm kind of very It is what it is. Yeah, the title again, super basic, kind of uninspired again, like very simple, but also again kind of goes into classic cinema kind of looks, style stuff. I like that. I kind of again wish there was a bit more to that title. Maybe it'll make more sense when we watch the episode, but that's cool. The Well, again, kind of an uninspiring title, but it is what it is. So we don't really get much here. The episode's called The Well. We know this is the one where they dive down into the pit. I saw some people complaining about this, going like, oh, I don't know why they changed it, like 5 miles down or whatever, 5 miles deep or something, was a better title. That was never a fucking official title. That was never what they were going to call it, but yeah, thanks for the observation, guys. Beautiful. I'm trying to like have a good gander into what's in this. It's kind of closing like the Torchwood door a little bit. So what can we take away from the details of this sort of very brief animatic? Well, we know in the episode they're diving out of a like a ship onto this sort of quarry-like planet. They're sort of with a team of people with guns who are clearly looking for something, which is cool because this is kind of giving rundown space station. I'm kind of liking it's very far future. I'm liking the idea of it having like an alien aesthetic, which I quite like. The Well, again, is quite an uninspiring title, but I'm kind of here with it. Some plants going on here. The interesting thing I found with this one is that the door only starts closing and the lights start flickering as soon as it goes to midnight. So upon midnight, the door closes and they get trapped in this place, maybe? The other thing to note is this logo here, which is sort of like a V shape, sort of a G as well. So I'm very keen to see what that's all about. Now, I'm kind of tempted to pull up something here. I thought it might have been Villain Guard, and I think there's a lot of theories about this being Villain Guard, but obviously the Villain Guard logo is different. And a lot of people were trying to make this connection, but I don't think it is connected to Villain Guard. That's the Villain Guard logo, but then also the Villain Guard logo like this in the Christmas special. So it's very likely that we could have a Villain Guard thing here as well. Villain Guard has starts with a V, has a G in it, and that is a sort of triangle-shaped G letter for the logo of whatever company this is. That's cool. It's kind of giving Alien. It's kind of giving Fallout Shelter. I kind of like the vibes. I'm giving like Alien, Colonial Marines, a little bit like Aliens, the sequel to the original Alien film. If it's good and it is like inspired by anything like that, I'll be very excited. We don't know very much about this episode. We've seen them in the spacesuits. We've seen them sort of exploring, but we don't know what they're looking for. We don't know what they're doing, and we don't know why they're going along with these people. The Doctor doesn't like guns. Why would he go with these people suddenly, who are all soldiers and whatever? After Boom, especially, like, that should be kind of an obvious one. The next one is Lucky Day, which is the Dr. Light episode, which I'm actually very excited about. Very cool that we're going to get this. And this is one I'm most excited about because it's going to sort of lean into unit quite a lot. I love this, right? So this is our unit keeping aliens in their HQ. Unit continue to be asked difficult questions as pressure is rising on what really happens in their new central London headquarters. Really cool. Extraterrestrial highway, you've got like stuff in Nevada. You've got global warming. You've got a shot of aliens in London there where Big Ben was destroyed. A lot of articles and things like that are regarding unit. So there's a few things I'm excited about this. I'm very excited about this because the unit stuff I think is really intriguing to me. Unit keeping aliens secretly in like a dungeon and using them is something I love as a concept. I tweeted this quite a while ago, but I love the idea that, you know, when I mean, we know anyway that this was happening because it's been talked about since the 60th, and I like this expanding into a thing, which makes me all the more excited for the war between the land and the sea. Is Unit are dodgy as fuck again, and I'm so excited about that because Unit used to have a little bit of fucking dodgy aesthetic to it. Now it's really glorified. It's like this government official building, and it's glorified as the best thing. Oh my god, Unit here to save the day. I kind of like that it's like Now these guys are fucked up and they're kind of assholes and kind of like devious and shit. And it's good. It's really good. I like that. We know that in the new unit building, they have got the toy maker sealed in his little toy box, and they've bound that in salt in the vault. I think they said in the episode they put that in the vault. We also know that we saw someone who had the same fingernails as Kate Stewart. She picked up the Master's tooth and presumably took it somewhere. And who knows what else they've got knocking around down there. But my theory about this episode, and I said this at the time when we saw the trailer, is there's this monster, which we've very clearly seen quite a lot in the promo material and in the trailers. I think that's an alien that's escaped from Unit. I think that's my theory, is it's escaped from the Unit vaults, and that's putting a lot of pressure on Unit to capture it and find it. You've also got a good spot. You've got the exploding Henrik's building from Rose, and then we go to this, which is the Lucky Day with host Conrad Clark. Subscribe now, weekly podcast series. That is hilarious to me because a few people have been saying this. Now, I'll just go on a record. I don't see this, but people have been saying I look like the guy who plays Conrad. Cool, pop off. Maybe before I had facial hair, sure. I disagree completely, but cool. I think that's an insult to that guy, but thank you. That's really nice of you guys to say I look like someone who could be an actor and be allowed on telly. I also find it funny that character has a podcast. Because it's very like, oh god, yeah, maybe he is me. Yeah. So I kind of like the idea that he's got this sort of conspiracy theory podcast kind of thing about aliens. He's interviewing Ruby, or maybe getting to know Ruby. I think Conrad is someone who is going to be directly tied to the finale as well. I have a feeling his character is going to come back and be bigger and better than ever. We've seen him in the filming that he is involved quite a lot with Ruby, whether it's just this episode or whether it is the finale or the wider story of the series. That could be really interesting. But a great way to introduce a new named main character in the middle of the series, but not introduce them to the Doctor. It's a good way around that. I also like this being a Ruby-centric episode. It's great to see some stuff with Ruby again. We know that Ruby's in this episode. We know that she's probably going to be in the 2-part finale as well. So although she's not the main companion in this series, it's great to see that she's still in 3 out of 8 of the episodes at least. That's very exciting. So I'm kind of fucking with that. I kind of like that. That's good. And again, the unit stuff just makes me very happy. So I'm very, very pleased with that. You've got this sort of alien looking in there, lots of sticky notes. Love it. There's so much you can break down with this, and I'm very excited about that. The story in the engine is probably my favourite, most anticipated episode of the series. Yeah. I've talked about this before, but you've got like a barber shop on like a giant spider's back. There's talks of it being like another sort of godlike figure, but again, very like hyper-focused in the setting of like African folklore and culture. And I think the interesting thing about that is it's new ground for Doctor Who, and I love that. I love when Doctor Who is like educational about different cultures and historical events and all that sort of thing. This is doing something really interesting with the show that I think we've needed for years, where it's like it's the equivalent for me of like Demons of the Punjab. Demons of the Punjab is one of those episodes where it's like I can put my hands up and say like I didn't know much about that historical period and place when that episode came out, and I learned a lot through that. And also, in fact, I just love the fact that they're using a different setting, a different culture, a different lens with monsters and aliens to tell a Doctor Who story, and that seems to be what they're doing here, which is why I'm very excited about this. I love the whole like almost like I don't know, like mythical spider creature kind of thing with a little barber shop on the back, and it's all about stories and like I don't know, missing people and yeah, I'm very excited. A whole new like location for Doctor Who, a whole new setting, and a whole new type of story, and that's what I'm very excited about with this one. Is it's probably the most unique one for me, and I'm excited about that. Also, giant spider, that's fucking great. And then we got the Interstellar Song Contest, which this Teaser doesn't give you much, but we know so much about this episode that it's kind of, well, we don't actually know fucking anything about the episode, but we know about 10 people who are in it. Every sort of star guest cast that they seem to announce for the series is in this episode. They're either wearing a t-shirt with the Interstellar Song Contest, or they're just involved. But I think this is the big bank of the series, to be honest. I think this is the one they're wanting to go viral. It's the one they're wanting to get trending, and it's the one that's the biggest budget. I think this is the most expensive episode ever of Doctor Who to be made. It's written by Juno Dawson, which is great that Russell isn't getting a co-writing credit, because it means that sort of you get a writer's standalone identity. You don't know which parts come from which writer, because you get confused. That happens elsewhere, I think. Yeah, so The Well is written by Russell T Davies and Sharma Angel Whodle, which is just is cool. But again, it's like that co-writing thing implies that he's more involved than you'd expect. Pete McTeague completely standing alone, lucky day, which again I'll get back to. Inua Elams, doing this, very exciting. Juno Dawson doing this, very exciting. I am so excited for the Interstellar Song Contest because it kind of reminds me a little bit of like Bad Wolf and Parting of the Ways, you know, with like the futuristic Big Brother and futuristic like Weakest Link. This is like a futuristic like Eurovision Song Contest. Fantastic. That's exactly the kind of shit that Doctor Who needs to do. It's a little bit like tongue-in-cheek. It's a little bit daft, but it's actually fun. And like, I'll say like my girlfriend who doesn't really watch Doctor Who, doesn't really engage with it, like only when I've got it on and I have to try and convince her to watch it. But this is one that actually she's excited about watching because it's a Eurovision episode. Like, it's a space Eurovision. Like, it's something familiar for audiences, especially in the UK, to attach to. US audiences are going to be confused. But I love the idea of this. I love the idea of this. It's so good. And I'm very excited to what they can do with it. For me, I'm going to be a bit boring here as someone who's in media and likes to review and critique stuff. I don't usually go, oh, I want to see like cheap cameos. But this is the episode where it's like, I'd just love to see like a Grask or a Slovene in the background, you know? Just like some random ass aliens. You've got the Interstellar Song Contest. You've got thousands of planets involved with this. I'd love to see some familiar, like, I'd love to see some familiar aliens, you know? Just in the background. You know, like in the Star Wars Senate, in the prequels, the Star Wars Senate, and you've got all these different pods, and they've got like loads of different aliens and stuff. And in the background, they snuck like the E.T. aliens in there just for a quick little tongue-in-cheek reference. I'd love them to do that. I'd love to see some Slovene. I'd love to see some Grask. I'd love to see some older monsters that we haven't seen in years. Krillitane, I'd love to see. I don't think Cybermen or Daleks really work. It's not really their thing to do a song contest, but I'd like to see just some really random ones. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh god, if we saw an Absorbaloff, that would make my fucking day. And I think of all people doing it is like Juno Dawson, I think would probably be the best person for that, as someone who's a bit younger, who would probably kind of has nostalgia for these things as well, to kind of bring these things in. Very excited for this one. My theory, Interstellar Song Contest leads into the finale. That's the one. So I'm interested to see where that goes, but yes. Wish World, part 1 of the 2-part finale. We've got this beautiful set design with the bones, which is very interesting. This obviously ties into Ncuti in the lovely pinstripe jacket and suit. And it's the one with the giant walking skeleton creature, presumably. Wish World could be anything. I don't know whether it's something out of time, a different planet, a different reality or something. I'm really not sure as to what it is, but I'm completely fucking with it. And then finally you got the reality war, which is the finale, and I think is going to be super interesting. I'll be honest, my brain's kind of frozen. I don't really know what's going on with the 2-part finale, but I'm very... Oh, Josh, that's such a good fucking idea, man. That would be so funny, but they just wouldn't do it, but it would be fucking funny. Yeah, Reality War, Wish World. I really don't know what to say about these. Excited about the direction, the writing. Obviously, it's going to be a Russell T Davies 2-parter. I think Wish World, the Reality War, Interstellar Song Contest, The Story and the Engine are good titles. I think the others are kind of dull. I think the Robot Revolution, Lux, The Well, and Lucky Day are kind of like fine. In terms of the writing staff, I love that there's a lot of variation here. Russell only has credits on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 8, as opposed to all of them, pretty much. He had 7 out of 8 last series. He's now got 5 out of 8, and one of those is co-writing. So he's only got solo credits on half of the episodes of this series, which is very exciting. I'm very happy about that. Juno Dawson writing this song contest, as I've said, perfect. I've said how much I love the idea of the story and the engine, and I'm very excited about this one. Even the title's great. Lucky Day, Pete McTeague. Again, Pete McTeague is running the spin-off show, the Sea Devil spin-off show, The War Between the Land and the Sea. It's going to have Unit in it. It's going to connect to this. So I'm very excited to see how this episode sets up stuff for The War Between the Land and the Sea. That excites me almost the most, really, because it's like we're getting some more stuff here from that, and I'm looking forward to how it ties into the wider series, this Dr. Light episode. But I'm also excited to see how they tie it into the spin-off, which is up and coming as well. The thing that I like as well is it ties things together, and like for all the faults of season 1, like I don't love season 1. I think it has flaws. I think it has holes you can poke in it. One thing I do like is, even though it's not satisfyingly tied up in a nice little bow in certain areas, and some of the sort of reasonings of stuff are kind of a bit like, meh, like kind of just like, oh, she pointed at a sign to name her daughter. You fucking mental. I don't get that at all. I do like, the one thing about Empire of Death I did like is that it calls back to the 73 Yards alternate timeline, and Ruby still having memories of that, and that connecting to how they get information about Ruby's mom. That's really cool in my eyes. Like, that's a really cool way of tying back, and it was a clever little way to tie back to those things. And I'd like to see this episode, Lucky Day, tie into the main series as well, which I'm sure it will do. Ruby being separate from the Doctor, I think, is going to be the one that helps save the day towards the finale, which is great. We also know Bonnie Langford's back as Mel in this series. We know Kate Stewart's coming back. Do we think there are any surprise guest cameos, actors, appearances in this series? Do you think we're going to get any other characters we haven't seen in a while? I'd love to see Martha, but it's going to be a while, I think, before we get her back. That's true. The creatures that are in Juno's Interstellar Song Contest episode are in the finale as well. So if you go to the Doctor Who pitch, hang on, and tie this together. So this guy was announced today. I recognise him, but I'm not sure where from. In the photo they released of him in the article. Oh dear. Interstellar Song Contest t-shirt, which is great. Also, I'm getting that fucking t-shirt, 100%. And then you've got this one here. So Freddie Fox was announced to be joining the Doctor Who cast. Now he's clearly part of the Eurovision episode, because I think he does directly mention by name in his quote. I'm sure he directly quotes Juno, no? Okay, but either way, this looks to be the Eurovision episode. Very likely to be that. These guys in the background were also on the Bone set. I don't know if it's in this bit. It's not. But there's a shot of the Doctor in the trailer where you can see those people in the background, and it's in that. So I have a feeling that whatever happens in the Interstellar Song Contest episode leads directly into the finale. I don't think it'll be directly connected. I don't think it'll be like the Utopia into Sound of Drums and Last of the Time Lords. Definitely not. But I do like that things are tying together nicely. I'm excited about this. I can't lie, I am getting excited about this, and I'm worried that I'm getting excited about this because I was left a little bit disappointed by season 1. But I am excited. It's getting round to it again now. And for me, it's always like that sort of thing of not wanting to get too excited and be let down. But I do have faith in this series. The new trailer was really good. We're not going to talk too much about the new trailer or break it down because we have broke it down on a previous stream. There's a stream a few weeks ago where I did, and it was like, break it down, 2 trailers. One of those was the German trailer, and that is the same as the Disney one. That's the one that's been released, but just in English this time. So all the breakdown that I did there is still relevant to this one. So, John Byron's a surprise guest. No fucking thank you. See what else is going on. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. There was this, which was revealed, so we'll talk about this as well. Let's have a watch of this clip here, which is from Good Morning America. Good morning, America.
This season, it's Belinda. What was that like for you?
Oh, God. It was so surreal. I did not expect myself to
We get a few
be
things in
back
this.
because I did one episode in the season before. So I was just saw it as a closed door. So when I had the call, it was like truly unbelievable in the true sense of that word. I really couldn't believe it. So I was
So excited.
so happy to be back and to be working with this one again.
Come on, so much
They have a
fun.
really good
Isn't
chemistry,
Gerardo
which I
just
love.
the best
I'm very excited to see them
to
on screen
set
together.
into the
I
show.
could say the same about you.
And Belinda as well as a character is like we've not had a companion that challenges the Doctor as much as Belinda does.
Have you got 2 hearts?
Padam, padam.
The padam thing people have been getting wound up about. Which I just think it's funny. People are complaining about, if the quality was good, I wouldn't mind these jokes. But I think it's funny, man. You got a little Kylie Minogue reference in there.
Can I? Do you mind if I? Wow. That's
Hearing the Masters theme in 2025.
that's so weird.
How did you prepare for the role, knowing that you were stepping into a completely imaginary world?
You're aware that you're joining a legacy. So I really wanted to.
This is okay. We know
the sense
this
of
whole thing.
escapism.
We've seen this. We know why
and
Doctor
just the
Who's
fact
good.
that you're
We've heard it
watching
before.
everyone else.
The
This is
series
cool.
carrying on the franchise's more than 60-year legacy with some surprises we're told lifelong fans will love.
Whovians will love this season. It's
Whovians.
so many Easter
Yeah.
eggs for them.
So many Easter eggs for Whovians. Love that. And again, going back to what I said about the Interstellar Song Contest, get some random aliens in the background there. I'd love it.
Yeah.
And I
The
feel
best reveal.
The best reveal, she says. The best reveal. I don't like getting set up like this, because the thing is, I don't mind when the actors say it, because the actors, I'm like, okay, maybe now we're talking. But when Russell goes, there's a big reveal, because whenever Russell talks about... Before I say this, I love Russell T Davies as a writer and as a showrunner. I think he's brilliant. I have my criticisms of the previous series, right? I think when he's in interviews and he's talking about his own scripts and he's going like, just wait till you see, it's marvellous, wait till you go and see it, wait till you see it, wait till it's on television, you would love it, it's marvellous. I'm like, okay, yes. And then it's sort of slightly disappointing. It's like, I think he hypes up his work quite a lot. And that's fantastic. Don't you worry at all. I love that. That's great. That's fantastic. But I'm like, when the actors say it, I think that's kind of fun. So let's see. There are rumors that people think she's Belinda is actually Susan, which is crazy if that's true.
the best reveal.
So-
I called that months ago, though. I really wanted her name to
Doctor's
not be
face is
revealed.
like-
What I thought would happen would be that at the end of Empire of Death season would come back and regenerate into like Belinda, basically, and that was just a fake out name, but that's not true.
Like the greatest trouble he's ever faced before.
Anyway, interesting. I do love that. He said in episode 5 as a reference to a 2005 episode. So, what is that? Is that the weapon from a? Is that like the whole thing where it was like a weapon from a 2005 episode. Or something like that. Oh, I can't remember. Let's have a gander. Which is episode 5 again? The story in the engine is episode 5, isn't it? So that's me thinking, what could the reference to that be? 2005 episode, spiders. Could be a reference to Father's Day, going back in time, historical episode. Could be a reference to... I don't know, man, it's hard. It's hard, that one. I don't know how that would work. I think Susan will come back. I feel like she will. Because there have been so many references regarding Susan in the last series. Like, it was scary how many references they put in there. And again, I refer back to when Russell talked about... When he talked about the series, and he talked about the script writing process of the series, it very much came across as like, you've got a 2-series arc, right? A lot of people were talking about that. You've got, like, he's written 2 series back to back and he's got it commissioned, right? When if Disney greenlight season 3, they'll also greenlight season 4, because they're written almost in 2, where you can write a 16-episode story almost, but in 2 seasons. That works for me. That's a good way of doing it. But because he says that, I'm thinking, well, there were so many Susan references in season 1, I would put fucking money on there being a Susan reveal or thing in season 2. A lot of reference to the whole thing. And then even in the trailer, a lot of people complaining about the whole Last of the Time Lords thing. Yeah, it is boring. It is done at this point. But you've kind of got Susan potentially, if she comes back, and that kind of leans into the whole Last of the Time Lords thing in the way that the Master was revealed in series 3. It'd be great to see Susan again. But please, for the love of God, cast Carol Ann Ford. Carol Ann Ford, who, by the way, appeared at the Church on Ruby Road premiere. Mental. And it's not been said yet if there's a 2025 special. But the thing is, we'll know. We'll know. Yeah, okay. If I'm wrong, I'll donate to charity, depending on how much. I'm not exactly a fucking rich influencer here, but yeah, sure, I'll donate to charity if I'm wrong about that. We'll talk about the novelizations in just a sec, don't you worry. But I don't think there is a 2025 special, but we will find out in about a month, basically, about a month and a half, because when the series is finished, like the final episode, the finale, there will be some sort of mention as to what's next, right? There will, just naturally will be. If not on the main show, on Doctor Who Unleashed. Who chatter? Let's have a look on the Discord server. The Discord server is linked in the description below, by the way, if you haven't joined it. We've got a lovely little Discord community for Doctor Who fans here, where we are thriving and talking about Doctor Who and theorising all the time. So, Amazon have just revealed they're on a brand new Target novelizations. Hang on. Let me just work this out. Okay. Empire of Death Target collection, which is cool. And we've got Lux, Robot Revolution, and The Well. So you've got the finale of the last series as well as the first 3 of this. I'm assuming the novels from last year didn't do too well. Because the last time they were like, oh, we're going to release a novel for every episode, other than... Oh, and it wasn't every episode, was it? It was just some key ones. But weird that they're doing last year's finale straight off the bat. But I wouldn't mind reading Empire of Death as a book. I mean, that's probably a little bit more room to expand. Empire of Death is going to be written by Scott Hancock. The Robot Revolution by Una McCormack. Lux by James Goss. The Well by Gareth L. Powell. So, yeah, interesting. Cool that we've got some new Target novels coming. I'm not a big Target novel guy myself, personally. But I do... Yeah. I love them. I do want to read some more, to be honest with you. But I sort of for me, I want to read the ones that are from a few years ago and like expand on those stories that I'm already really familiar with, as opposed to brand new episodes. I think like sometimes you need a bit of time. The one I do want to read is Twice Upon a Time. That's the one I'd like to do. So, while we're talking about Doctor Who stuff, let's talk about some other shit that's been going on. So, could talk about fucking nostalgia bit, of course. We always do. For those who aren't aware, I have a podcast. It's linked in the description below. You can check it out. It's called Nostalgia Bait. Brand new episodes every single Thursday. And this week we've got a film review. We're talking about Shrek, believe it or not. But this is the channel. Go and subscribe to it. You don't have to, but hey ho, it's in the chat. It's that easy. Do what you want. It's that easy. Just click on it, press subscribe. Job's done. It's just for you, really. You're going to have a better week because of it, because you're going to get some fantastic new content. But yes, and if you're not already subscribed to this channel, subscribe, man. We've got some good stuff coming soon. I've got some exciting things planned that I want to do. I've got a big bag of goods here. Big old bag of goods. It is not just a Tesco bag. I talked about this a while ago, but I've got all of my old Doctor Who figures in here. Yep, all of them. All my old Doctor Who figures. From different generations and different years and different B&M sets as well. All of my long built-up collection of Doctor Who figures from over the years in one big carrier bag. And at some point, I would love to go through them and have a look at them, because you never know what's going to be in there. But yeah, I know it's kind of unrelated, but what advice do you have for wading through all of the rumours about the show being in trouble, or shitty get we're leaving? Do not rely on Doctor Who as your, like, life. Because it's a comfort thing, you know, it's a comfort show, and it's a bit of escapism, and that's fun, but there have been rumours every single year about the show ending, all that sort of thing. What I will tell you is that if anyone tells you that Doctor Who is going to end and disappear like it did at the end of the 80s, you are dead wrong. Because we're living in a very different time, where things are more readily available. You're going to have fan productions, you're going to have Big Finish, which will still be going. You're still going to have, there's still a market for Doctor Who. If the BBC take it off the air for a few years, if Ncuti Gatwa leaves, the show still survives. The show is at a point now in terms of popularity that it has stood the test of time, and it is now ready to just dominate. And it is, you can kill it, you can take it off the air, but there will still be an appeal for it. There will still be fans for it, and while there's still fans, there's still an audience. There'll still be content made, whether that's officially or unofficially. You know, a lot of the unofficial stuff, and some official stuff in terms of novels in the 90s, they ended up becoming TV writers and ended up writing for the New Who, you know. It's exciting. It's exciting times. And I think, like, even if it goes down the shitter for a bit and goes off the air for a few years, I wouldn't worry about that. So if you're worried about rumours, I'd say don't be. Like, there are other things in life, and also there are other TV shows and things. My comfort for Doctor Who being cancelled in a way is because, well, I don't mind having a bit of time off the show. But also, it's like, I've not seen a lot of classic Who, and I could do with some time to catch up on that, to be honest with you. I know I've got time in between the series, I just don't have the time to sit there and watch TV, really, very much. It's a hard one. But I would recommend, like, just don't be too... Yeah, don't deep it too much. It's a comfort show, and enjoy it when it's on. For me, it's a yearly routine, but I'm not sat thinking about it every single day of every whatever second whilst it's off the air. Like, once it's on the air, I'll be thinking about it and I'll be enjoying it and consuming it, but that was off the air. I don't really have much to say, and I do content and stuff, but that's it. Is my Geordie accent really prominent today? Yeah, it's one of those ones, isn't it, where sometimes it comes through, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why it does that, but yeah. Who would you cast as the Doctor? That's a good question. I don't really have anyone nowadays. I used to have loads of fan casts and stuff, but I really don't have anyone. I think it needs to be someone completely unknown. Ncuti was a great choice. Really inspired choice. But I've not got many in my mind. I'd love to see a Northern Doctor again. I'd love to see like a darker Northern Doctor. Like Chris Eccleston was perfect for that. I'd love to see another Chris Eccleston type Doctor where it's someone who is just like kind of a bit more rough, rugged, Northern, like angry Doctor, like a bit of a prick. You had that a little bit with Capaldi in Series 8, but they didn't quite stick the landing and kind of change his character to be a bit more optimistic. So we've got a bit of time, so let's whip out the old 13 as per. When we are finished the stream today, we'll be going over to Twitch. So if you are joining us here, please do be sure to check us out over on Twitch after. We'll be continuing the same live stream. It's effectively the same live stream. The only difference is I'll be playing a video game in the background. And the video game this week, as it has been for the last few, is The Last of Us. We'll be playing The Last of Us on stream and answering your questions, whether they're about Doctor Who or otherwise. Please feel free to join us on Twitch from 8 o'clock as soon as we finish the live stream here. But until we go over there, we're going to play a little game called 13, which everyone here knows that I'm obsessed with. So feel free to ask me any and all questions you want to ask. I'll try and answer them now while I'm playing this horrible game. And if there are any that I don't answer, I'll be answering them over on Twitch. So make sure you join us there after. It's good fun. For those who actually do join the Twitch every week, who are in the chat, or most weeks, please do convince the other people that it is a fun time, and I'm not just lying to get people to watch. It is a fun time. What do you think went wrong, or didn't go to plan in Season 1? I feel like they thought it was perfect, great series, if something didn't go to plan. I don't think it's a perfect series. I think for me, there's criticisms I have, and I think for me it comes down to that what they really needed to do if they were going to. It should have been Series 14. I love the idea of Season 1. I think it was a great idea on paper, but in reality, I don't think it worked. And the reason it didn't work is because it was exactly the same fucking show. It didn't change at all. It didn't reinvent. It didn't feel new. It felt like a direct continuation of Jodie's era with a different showrunner. You know, whoop-de-doo, Bob's your uncle, like, we're all fucking happy singing and dancing. I just didn't. I was excited for something new and fresh and different. Even though it was Russell coming back, I was like, oh, maybe maybe there's a reason he's come back. Like, he's bringing something new to the show. And it just kind of felt like, no, he's not really bringing anything new to the show. He's just kind of doing the same thing again. And that's fine. And it worked in 2005. I don't think it works as well now, the style of writing. Again, not a problem with that. But for me, I think that might be where it falls at the hurdle. They can't decide whether they want to please the long-time fans or whether they want to try and appeal to new viewers. And that indecisiveness between those two factors is, I think, what shoots them in the foot. They either need to completely reboot it and reinvent it for a brand new audience where old fans can still enjoy it, or they make it entirely like a fandom-based show. They're trying to pull between two. They're still stuck between a rock and a hard place, and it is not getting any easier to navigate that, in my opinion. The thing is though, as I said at the time, I've not changed in that perspective. If it was a complete solid, like, reboot almost, a completely different stylistic choice for the show, it looked and felt like a different new show, in a way, I would love the Season 1 thing. But because they didn't do much with that, it feels very artificial. Right? And I fucking hate that. So I still stand by that. I love the idea of it being Season 1, and unfortunately it is Season 1 by nature. But I just don't like that they've done that now. Now I see the series and I've watched it. I'm now like, I wish they hadn't done that. I wish they just said Series 14. I understand why they didn't, and it's got nothing to do with Disney or anything like that. It just is a case of they wanted to just sort of feel like they were doing a reboot, but then they should have put it in the quality of the scripts as well. You seen Gaza do the World in Motion rap? I might have done. I've seen him singing Fog on the Tyne. Cosmic horror. I would like to see some more cosmic horror. HP Lovecraft. I love the aesthetic of H.P. Lovecraft. Can't say I've actually like taken in much of the actual work, but the aesthetic and what I've seen of that is exciting and definitely suits Doctor Who, if that's what you're asking. Why I? Big Finish audio called Full Phantom 5, which was more adult focused as it had cussing and some really dark shit. Love that. That sounds fun. This was What If Doctor Who audio. Again, that's also fun. Favourite and least favourite Mark Gatiss episode. Favourite is probably The Unquiet Dead. I feel like, again, it's probably the strongest, actually, weirdly. I like that episode. It's pretty decent, to be honest with you. It's not an all-timer for me. It's not one that I revisit very often, but it's not one I've ever got a problem with. Whereas other Mark Gatiss episodes sometimes, yeah, they sometimes wind me up a little bit. Idiot's Lantern. Only thing I like about Idiot's Lantern is that it's basically like a version of Little Shop of Horrors, which is kind of fun in a way. I never thought of that as a kid. I was obsessed with Little Shop of Horrors. Never even considered that might be like a parody of it. The whole feed me thing, it's like trying to seduce the owner of the TV shop, like Seymour and Little Shop of Horrors. There's so many like parallels to it, but I never ever considered it because I'm a fucking idiot. It's really strange from me. I should have clocked onto that earlier. Sleep No More is his worst one. Yeah, easily. Most forgettable. 42, Hyde, Sleep No More, Nikola Tesla. Sleep No More. I remember 42 quite well. As naff as it is, I was a kid and I enjoyed it and it still stuck out to me as like a memorable episode. I like the pub quiz thing. Hyde, it has a great aesthetic to it. It's quite spooky. It's a bit out there. It's a good episode. I don't love the overall story of it, but it has some great bits in it. And, like, fuck off. Nikola Tesla's a great episode. Like, I still enjoy that, like, quite a lot, actually. I haven't watched it in a fucking couple years, but, hey, it's a good episode, man. I enjoy that one. Sleep No More, however, is shit and forgettable and horrendous. It's aged horribly as well. It's like the first ever, like, trans actor in Doctor Who. And they're playing like a grunt who can't speak properly, and it's like lower class. Oh, it's fucking weird, man. Looking back on that shit, it's really, really fucking strange. Empress of Mars was weak, but Empress of Mars was effectively just Victory of the Daleks again. That's kind of what that was. It was Victory of the Daleks meets Cold War. One of which is already an Ice Warrior episode, so that's kind of shocking to start with anyway. But it was kind of a bit of both, I guess. It's hard, man. It's hard. Guilty pleasure episode. Oh, see, I don't really like Crimson Horror. Bells of St. John, I get that one. That is kind of a fun one. Guilty pleasure episode. I would say Love and Monsters. I genuinely, unironically think Love and Monsters is actually quite a good episode. I think it's not that easy to make a memorable Doctor Who episode, even for the wrong reasons. I don't think it's a bad Doctor Who episode. I think it's a bit cheesy. Even for the time, it was cheesy. But hey, it's fucking fun and it's memorable. And it's got some great cast in it. Like, it's actually got quite a stacked cast, you look at it. I mean, Peter Kay, especially at the time, that was a hell of a fucking steal from a casting perspective. Getting Peter Kay and Doctor Who, yeah, that's fucking class. I don't know, man. I think there's some charm in that. It sounds daft, but even the lad who played Elton, he's not been in much, but, like, he's fucking good in the episode. Like, he's dramatically pretty fucking spot on. He's exactly what the kind of role needed. Does he not play the role perfectly? Kind of. He's kind of awkward and cringe and weird. A bit of a psychopath. But he kind of plays it perfectly in a weird way. It's kind of a goated performance, if I dare say so. It's pretty good. It's pretty fucking good. Guilty pleasure. What Watched the Drunk Lords episode on Love and Monsters recently. Funny as fuck. Oh man, I haven't seen the Drunk Lord stuff in years. I need to rewatch some of that. But I cringe at my older content, man. I really do. I'm really bad with that. It's a sort of little perfectionist in me where I'm just really judgmental of anything that I've made that's like a couple years old. It's just not great, but then also it's good to kind of have some standard level. Do you know what I mean? Like a level of some standards when it comes to content, I think. Didn't want to do that, didn't want to do that, didn't want to do that. Okay. We're still cooking here, mind. Sometimes you got to make stupid decisions like that. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. And today it hasn't. But now we fucked it. We've got to go in all sorts of directions, otherwise this just isn't going to work anymore. And it's definitely not going to work now. Fucking hell. At least we got him down there again. I don't even know what we're doing now. Where the fuck are we at here? Yeah, it's done. Okay, so we will be heading over to Twitch. I would love to see you all there. I mean, there's a good few people who are watching right now. Love you all lots. We do go live on Twitch very shortly. I'll have a tiny break and then cut over. But we basically continue all this chat over on Twitch. This is twitch.tv/georgesheard. I'll put the link in the chat. Keep asking me Doctor Who questions. I'm enjoying this. It's a lot of fun. But pop over to the Twitch chat to do it. You might have to make an account, sure, whatever. But feel free to chat to me over there. I'd love to see more questions, even about Doctor Who. I'm more than happy. Just because we're cutting to a different platform does not mean that I'm cutting off all the Doctor Who chatter. You're more than welcome to still talk about it. You can also make things appear on screen. There's a lot of memes and shit. And yeah, it's a lot of fun over on Twitch. We do play a bit of video games and have a bit of fun. And it's a little bit of a different format, but it's still me. Still the same sort of visuals. And yeah. Have a gander, have a gander. If you've never been over to our Twitch before, please do try it tonight. It's something new, it's something different. If you're not already there and you're not already following, please do give us a follow as well. Yeah, and as per, you know where we are. Every Tuesday we're back. Oh Christ, where have I gone? Every Tuesday we're back here on YouTube talking about Doctor Who, as per. And as we get close to the series, I haven't decided exactly what my plan is yet for when the series starts. I'm looking at potentially doing streams on the mornings after the episodes have come out, like reaction streams and sort of initial reviews. I think could be quite fun. So we'll have to wait and see whether I do that or not, but I will keep you guys updated. Maybe not every week, but maybe some weeks. In the meantime, yeah, we'll be going over to Twitch on Thursday, of course. You can look forward to a brand new Nostalgia Bait episode. That's very fun indeed. We love a bit of that. I think what else there is to say, really. Yeah, new Nostalgia Bait podcast episode every Thursday on Spotify and YouTube and all the other stuff. And yeah, fucking hell, what else can I say? What else can I advertise? Oh, and I've released my first ever short film. So if you haven't already seen that, please have a look down in the description below. And if you want to watch a fun 20-minute drama film that I wrote and directed, I'd be absolutely super thankful for the rest of my days if you check that out. And if you have got Letterboxd, you can drop it on Letterboxd and have a review on there as well. I'd love to see that. But yeah, that's all I want to advertise. Check out the links in the description below. Go in the description, click on all the links, and I'll be happy. That's the only thing that'll make me happy. The only other thing that will make me happy, though, is joining us over on Twitch in about 5 seconds. I'll see you all later. Have a lovely evening, week, whatever. And I will hopefully see you in about a minute. If not, see you next week. Bye-bye.